So, I just doing squats, and so London has a new police chief, and congratulations to him. I didn't know anything about it. It's not usually something that's going to be announced beforehand. uh, you know, there's some serious challenges the city is facing, and some of it I've highlighted. With the homelessness and the drug issues that have always persisted, but the let's say the exponential growth that has happened because of a multitude of factors. I don't need to explain it to you. If you're watching this, you already know. Especially if I'm going to target this to someone that's on the front line of policing, from this idiot's perspective, right? Because people are the hardest to control, and when you understand the overall psychology, not just criminology, then things become a little bit easier for predictability. Not like a Minority Report kind of scenario, but you have a lot of resources at our fingers now, because a lot of people just put their lives online, and intelligence gathering in that respect is that much easier. But it's not what people put online anymore. It's all about what they don't put online. And there's obviously some electronic devices used for observation that are available to law enforcement. And a lot of people have mixed feelings about this. But the truth is that we live in an era now of clandestine terrorism. Let's put it like that. We just put it right out there. We got people from a wide variety of backgrounds, and not all of them are vetted. Actually, a lot of them are not, because of the pretext of border crossings like Roxham Road, and also the large influx of people that have come from away, within the past 10 years. There's good people and bad people. I've seen them all. And, more, I would like to say more towards the good side. But in my personal experience with, is very, high level versus a lot of other people, because let's look up the IQ levels versus origin here. The geography of IQ, okay? This is real. So this is from 2008. Examines the distribution of national IQ, that's national, in geographical space, when the hereditability of IQ and its dependence on eco-social factors are considered from a global perspective. They suggest that the IQs of neighboring countries should be similar. Okay, let's see. National IQs. Let's see. It is found that, as predicted, nations that are geographically neighbors have more similar IQs than nations that are far apart. National IQ varies strikingly with positions around the globe. The relationship between location and national IQ is even stronger than that of relationship between location and national average temperature. So there's factual and statistical basis for this judgment, right? Because if you're not doing a fact-based examination, logical deduction, you're police officers. I don't need to tell you anything about this. Because this is how you take people down, right? You use logic. Okay, so national IQ. So this goes in further, and again, this is from 2008, so it's still relevant, right? And okay, and then there's other references: education and ecological correlations of IQ from 2005. IQ and the Wealth of Nations from 2006. That's more than likely a good one. Uh, you know, Temperature, skin color, per capita income, and IQ in international perspective. That's a very good one too, because again, there's anthropological and there's historical context to that. I'm trying to avoid any kind of connotation of more racism. Try and degrade, if not discredit me for the amount of information that I've had access to over researching my project with the history of propaganda and having firsthand direct experience and with the affect of the results of the mentality, because again, then there's cultural considerations to be held. I gotta find that paper, and it had to do with the Toronto Five, I think it was. So 2006, the Toronto 18, Ontario Terrorism Plus. Because here's the thing: is that when certain cultures, get to what's a saturation, a concentration, a critical mass. That's the terminology I'm going to use. They start to think that they're as a collective, more secure, more powerful than the native people that have grown up here and have had their entire lives here. So I know that the new police chief, by tangential examination, has a long history here in London. So I'll respect him for that. I don't know you, but I hope we have a better relationship after this, because it's not easy to be a young chief. Imagine trying to be a police chief of a city that's like over 500,000 people, and there's always the issues of underfunding, undertraining, and a lack of respect for the fact that again, I'm thinking about the recent incident in Toronto where that young Polish Slavic person was basically just blown away for no particular reason because of a young gang member, right? And gangs exist in London. They do. They participate in human trafficking. They participate in drug trafficking, and also arms trafficking. This is not a joke. London is not as safe as it used to be. This is just a result of public policy, as is the example with other cities in the United States with too much liberalism, which leads to the decline and degradation of public trust, and then the bastion, the first bastion of law enforcement, right? I don't want to see things go to basically like a Judge Dredd scenario, or complete militarism, because people, we're gonna have to start examining people, just by my opinion, more like military police, in which every person is a threat, from arm's length, right? And I know in the interactions that I've had with local police officers, all of them positive, that even though I'm in a position of distress, a lot of times I'm still trying to remind them of that even someone like me has the potential for violence. And this is the world we live in now, because the internet and because of video games. People are not as smart. Okay, they don't understand the consequences of their actions, and they don't understand the potential damage to the public sphere from their individual agency, right? And I say this from again, I've been around hundreds of different kinds of people from different backgrounds, and having been previously in a leadership position, I understand and I sympathize uh, with that kind of responsibility. And even as an aircraft mechanic, I sympathize with that because, have you ever held a rivet in your hands? Have you ever taken a shot that you couldn't take back? Because I have, right? And it's a lot of effort to punch out that rivet and to get it right again. And sometimes, if I'm going to use this as a metaphor, and sometimes it involves self injury because you end up bludgeoning your fingers or whatever, or vibration in the process. So you're trying to minimize the damage in trying to repair this spiritual machine, right? Let's put it like that, because there is some positivity on the horizon, to counteract this overall degradation of cultural equality that has happened under the liberal government with their public policies. This is just the fact that this is the name of the game, and people will mock me and make fun of me. But the truth is that I have had in the past a close relationship, not through 3 degrees of separation, with other law enforcement agencies. I'm not going to disclose as to how, and I have a secondhand, 2 degrees of separation through a family who was previously on the Toronto Police Force, and I have my interactions with different agencies, and no further to declare at this point. I'm not going to try and blow and try to pump myself up in perception here, or in try to make myself look like I'm some sort of expert. Just I'm just me, man. So we'll see you around.